Hello! Got my hair tied back today. This is a bit different, but you know what? Let's just go with it. I'm going to talk to you today about superstition. That's a new one for me, but it's something that I've recently read a little bit of something about, and it's changed the way I feel. So we're going to get into that, but as always, please like, please subscribe, please, do all that stuff, stick around, stay with me. Anyone who's new and who's just stumbled across my video, my name is Jane. I am a transformational mindset coach, and I come in here every week with little bits of goodness just to help you to up-level your mindset, stay a bit more high vibe, sprinkle some LOA in there sometimes, just all those good things. So, superstition. Right, I am one of those people. I have been superstitious my entire life. Like, I do all the things. Like, I won't walk under ladders. Because I don't know why, actually. I don't know why I won't walk under ladders. It's just something I must have heard at some point in my life, that you don't ever walk under a ladder. You don't put your shoes on the table. If you do, you get a bit of salt and you chuck it over your shoulder. Why salt? I actually don't know, but that's one of those things. You don't put umbrellas up in the house. You don't put umbrellas up if it's not raining. Well, you see all these people in, like Asians do this a lot, don't they? They have umbrellas up to shade them from the sun, so they're obviously not worried about it not raining, because that's a totally different reason to have your brolly up. What else did I... Magpies. I would see a magpie and I would wave to it and I'd say, hi, good morning, good afternoon. I would do that little rhyme in my head. Well, magpies, but 1 for luck, 2 for sorrow, 3 for a girl, 4, or whatever it was. No, 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy, 5 for a baby, something. All of these superstitions that I have held all of my life, like I always, this is another one, and this one's silly, but it's like, I do it. I support Liverpool. For those of you that haven't heard, that don't know me and that don't know about my love for that football club, I support Liverpool. And I sit in a certain way every single game. I sit in a certain way for the first half and I sit in a certain way for the second half. And because they always win, I now feel like I can't sit any other way, because then I am in some way changing the way they're going to play because I'm sitting in a certain position. How many of us do things like that, especially with sports? How many of us have our lucky socks and our lucky jumper and, the lucky seat and all of that stuff? I was one of those people, and I used to think about this stuff all of the time, and it would literally be like, I'd see a magpie and I'd be waving and the girls would be like, what are you doing, Mum? Who are you waving to? And I'm just waving to that magpie out the window. Or, they'd put their shoes on the table and I'd go and get a bit of salt and chuck it. They'd be like, what are you doing, Mum? I'd be like, I'm just putting some... You can't put shoes on the table. I remember once Hannah tried to put the brolly up in the car, and I'm like, don't put the brolly up in the car, we'll crash. She's like, what do you mean we'll crash? It's an umbrella. But that was me. That was my life. That was what I used to do. Superstitious about everything. And then, just recently, I read, well, when I say recently, I have read this book before, a long time ago. I read The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. Back then, it didn't really resonate with me because I don't think I was in the right place to be thinking about the words and actually what she was saying and how mind-blowing that book actually is. But now I'm me and I'm here and I'm today and I'm this Jane and I believe in all of this stuff and I've got a totally different mindset. I read it again just recently and literally everything she said just went deep and I got it and it made sense. And there was a particular line in that book, in the chapter on the power of words, I think it was like chapter 2 or 3, and it was talking about the power of words. And there was an excerpt about walking under a ladder. And I've got it up on my screen and I want to read it to you because I found this extremely powerful, and that's what I wanted to talk about. So it says, I have a friend who said nothing could induce her to walk under a ladder. I said, if you're afraid, you are giving a belief in two powers, good and evil, instead of one. As God is absolute, there will be no opposing power unless man makes the false of evil for himself. Now that normally I would have gone, God, evil, good, what are you? But actually, because of where I am now, I totally got that passage. For me, it's about, you always have to have this belief. I mean, I say this all the time, that you have to raise your energy and you have to have your vibe high, and you have to believe that only good is going to come into your life, and believe in good. And I mean, I always say, you know, I am the light. I don't let darkness in anymore. I've been fully in darkness and I'm not going there again. Now I am light, and that's why certain things can't touch me, like what's going on in the world right now, because I am light. I'm not bothered by it. I don't fear it. There's all those things that happen to you. You know, you might hear horrible stories. Before, they would have really bothered me because that was dark and it wasn't very nice. Now, because I see myself as full of light, yes, I get bothered by it because I don't like them, but I don't let it affect me. And I'd never seen superstition in that way before until I read that passage. And what that meant to me in the me that I am today was that, how can I believe that everything is good? How can I believe in high energy and high vibe? And how can I be that person that just wants to be up there when I'm still fearing things by not walking under ladders, by not ignoring magpies, by chucking salt over my shoulder if somebody puts a pair of shoes on the table? So you can't believe in good and bad at the same time. And if you are superstitious, then you're letting fear into your life. And so I've literally started just recently being very hyper aware of when I see a magpie, not waving, not saying hello, not saying anything, just going, well, it's a magpie. You know, it's a magpie. That has no power over me. That magpie holds absolutely no power over my life, good or bad or indifferent or anything, if I don't feel the fear of having that superstition of something that magpie could in some way bring bad luck to me, because I've seen it. It's fear. That I'd never seen superstition as fear before until I read this book. Makes massive sense to me now. So I just thought I would pop on and just sort of talk to you about that. How many of you are superstitious? How many of you have your lucky socks? How many of you have your lucky seat? The other thing, like I remember when the big C19 hit in England, the year that Liverpool were winning the league, and I'd literally just got my nails painted in red. And I'd gone, right, red for winning the league. We're going to win the league. We're going to do it next game. I've got my red nails. It's all good. And then that thing that we don't talk about hit. The league was postponed. And I went, oh, it's because I got my nails done in red. I'm not doing that again. That was stupid. Those kind of things, as silly as it sounds, that's fear-based, right? That's me putting some massive sort of belief onto something so silly as having my nails painted red. So anytime you get superstitious, anytime you have a fear, I challenge you, if you are going to live fearlessly, if you're going to live without fear, if you are going to believe that everything's good in your life, next time you see a ladder, because I think that's the big one, next time you see a ladder, walk underneath it. Walk underneath it. And I am also going to do the same thing. I've been really good about sitting in the seat. I'm going to get my nails painted red again the next time Liverpool are close to winning the league. You just watch this space. You will see me come on with red nails at that point. I've not been worried about magpies. I've not been saying hi to them. The girls haven't actually put their shoes on the table since, but if they do, I won't get the salt and I won't chuck it over my shoulder. But the big one for me is the next time there is a ladder in my path, I will not walk around it. I am going to walk straight underneath it, because I am going to show fear that I don't have that anymore. I don't live in that place in my head anymore. I believe in good. And if I have all these superstitions, then there's obviously a place in my mind that still believes in fear. And so that is what I wanted to talk about today. Just look at your superstitions in a different way. Look at the things that you might do in a different way. That's you having some kind of fear within your body. It's a fear that's unrecognized. It's something I'd never even considered until now. And I am changing. I'm changing the way I move forward. No more superstition for me, because fear does not live here. Fear is not allowed within me anymore. I do not let it in. I refuse to let it into my vibe, my energy, my brain, my body, anything. So no more superstition. No more avoiding ladders. No more not putting brollies up in the house or the car or where without the rain. I am just going to live fearlessly. And I would love to hear what you think about this. Does it make sense to you? Do you think I'm rambling about some nonsense? Go and read The Game of Life and How to Play It, because it is such an eye-opening book. That lady, she was so ahead of her time. She's unbelievable. And once you can kind of read between the lines of the way she writes and put it into today's modern times, it's honestly such an amazing book on how to live your life. And I'm taking it all on board from now on. So let me know what you think. Comment below. Please like, please subscribe, please stick around. That is all for me for this week. I'll be back next week with another little bit of wisdom. See you then. Bye.